Good evening and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Well, hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. Well, y'all know this garden has been a struggle bus this year. I'm gonna just do a quick swoop so you can see what everything's looking like in the jungle back there. I just finished watering and I harvested. I have lots of green beans coming. I've only seen that one pepper, but I've had a lot of pepper blooms and they've since died off. So I know the peppers are on the way. They are coming, especially in the back. So every variety that I sold and all that are producing. So I look for my flush probably in the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna just let them stay on and grow until, you know, they start to turn red or whatever, and then I'll take them off so I can hopefully get a second flush. I'm very happy about that. And I have a huge flush of green beans coming. So I'm gonna let those go a little bit. I figure in the next couple of weeks I should start plucking green beans because I still have a lot of flowers, plus the green beans are coming. I looked and I saw a lot of them. So once they're of size, I will get those plucked. But the main thing are the peppers. The kohlrabi are still coming along good, so I will get some kohlrabi at some point this summer. I'm praying for the squash. I have squash outside. I planted those 5 patty pans. I have melon flowers. I have cucumber flowers out there. I'm just letting that stuff go. My thought was if the squirrel gets it, he gets it. The squirrel has not touched nothing since I removed the tool, and all the plants really took off after I did that. So hopefully I'll get something. Hey, I'll share with the animals. Just give me something, okay? If I see something coming, then like in the container, if I see something coming, then I will shoot it right to the greenhouse when I see the fruit on the plant. So to make sure that I get it, then I'll take it back out there. I do have some eggplants coming, at least 5 or 6 of them in the garden table as well as on the picnic table where I put the container. They were pollinated and there are baby eggplants there. So I don't think the squirrel will mess with that. If anything, he's gonna mess with the kohlrabi and possibly the squash. I don't know, but so far so good. God's protecting my little plants because God knows that I have been through it this year and I'm just trying to get a little something. But here is what I harvested today. And there's more coming, more on the way, and I have a few more red ones over there, but they're not quite red enough. This was a golden something, so I figured, okay, it's ready. But I've got the rest. These came from my, I know it's a cherry tomato, but I don't know what the variety is. I don't care, but guess what? These are gonna be eaten tonight. Anything Que can get, Que is getting. So here we go. 4 tomatoes today, y'all. And y'all know I've gotten that kohlrabi and I've since eaten it. That thing was delicious because it was young and tender and all that. And I know I'll be getting green beans soon to freeze. I've been getting lots of mint, lots of basil, that type of stuff I'm getting. You know, that's automatic. Okay, now I'm gonna do a test, you guys, because as you all know, these potatoes right here, as you can see, they've pretty much just about died back. And these are July potatoes. I'm gonna do a test. I tried to do one the other day and stuck my hand in bare and messed around and stuck my hand on a rotted seed potato. You talk about the smell. Ooh, it stunk. In fact, I'm still working on getting that stink from my hand, okay? It was horrible. And I said, I'm not doing that again. But here I am willing to do it for the greater good because my pot that's up front, I have not done anything to that pot other than early on, I put the muriate of potash in it, amended the soil, planted the potatoes in that barrel container right up front. I haven't watered it because I've been sick all summer, can't drag the hose and all that. And I said, the rain's gonna have to do the trick. And that's what has happened. It has rained quite a bit. It rained last week, so it has stayed moist. So basically that one I have neglected. The root stout method, the ones in the bed, I have neglected, and I have neglected the ones that I planted. Remember I came on film and the cat came along? I have not done anything to any of those potatoes. But today I said, well, let me check them, because I was thinking maybe I should put a little bit more muriate of potash on the potatoes, because those are also July potatoes. So I dug my hand down in there, gloved of course this time, and I actually hit a potato, and it was a nice sized potato in that front pot. Got me excited, you guys, because I really don't know what's going to happen with these potatoes. You know, I didn't put any effort into any of them actually, other than trying to muriate a potash and, you know, putting them in these containers and the ones, you know, the experiments. But I've been too sick to really, you know, baby them the way that they should be. And maybe that's the secret. Leave them alone. But anyway, I am going to get some nitrogen on tomorrow when I go to Myers. So, and I heard someone say, well, I know on the Veggie Boys for the peppers, Pop on Veggie Boys said that once you see the blooms and once things start to develop, you add nitrogen. That's what he said as far as the peppers are concerned, which I've done. And I added the muriate of potash, because he said add that. And he also said to add sulfur. So I did all that last week in the peppers. So I'm like, okay, potatoes, it's the same concept. And I have heard someone say you should add nitrogen towards the end. And so, and then I remember Carrie, I'm subscribed to her channel. I forgot the name of her channel. But anyway, she got potatoes for the first time last year, and she said the secret was adding nitrogen to the soil. So guess what? So tomorrow, I'm gonna do this test just to see what we got going on under there. Now, if they're okay, I'm gonna leave them alone, because I just added the muriate of potash the other day. But if they're not doing okay, if they're small, then tomorrow I will add some nitrogen to them, because this is the test plot to begin with. But now up front, the ones I have done nothing with in that barrel container, I felt a potato, and it felt nice size, and it was not seed. It was not a seed potato. In fact, he was hooked to the root of the potato off to the side. And actually, I looked at it. I didn't look at it all the way, just enough to know that it was a potato and it's new. So if I don't get but that one potato, it's a success for me, because y'all know. But it was a nice sized potato. It was about like the size of my hand, you know, and that's your average size potato. So now that has gotten me curious. I may as well do a test pull here, and we're gonna see it. Or you're gonna see it rather. So let's get the camera aimed, and I got my gloves on. I've got my little troll thing, and we're gonna see. I'm gonna pull one from the middle, and then I'm gonna dig down with my hand and see if I see any potatoes. That's all, because they're ready to harvest mid-July anyway. So if anything's developing, I will know today. And so I'm gonna harvest them right around my birthday, around the 14th. So we got 13 days to go. So now is the time. If I need to add any more to them or whatever. Oh, my board just slid down the thing. Can't have that happening, so I'm gonna have to bring it back up, because I have fixed the greenhouse. Okay, let's do this. Okay, I hope y'all can see. Let's pull this up just a wee bit so y'all can look down into it. Whoops. Don't want that happening. Oh, and my garlic is pretty much ready. It hasn't died back all the way, but it's pretty much ready. I'm gonna give that a little more, I'll probably do that around my birthday time too, the garlic. And I know I'll get garlic. I just want them to get a little bigger. Okay, I'm digging this potato up right here. Okay, you can see me. We're just going with the little section here, and we're just gonna see what's there. Okay, I see a teeny tiny potato. Oops, I'm feeling something, y'all. I feel something. Let's see what we got. Okay, teeny tiny tubers, and then that's the seed potato. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. So that lets me know, see them? Little babies, but at least they're coming. So now what I'm gonna do, let me go down a little further, because these were up top. See if I feel anything down there. And I'm going to plant those plants back because there's still some small potatoes hooked to it. Actually, I think it should be doing better than what it's doing. That one's not bad. See that one? Okay, so we're getting them. So what I'm going to do, because this is a test, let me plant this back because those potatoes just may get bigger. They're still attached. Let me cover them, heal them real good. Ooh, and this needs to be watered because I had stopped watering it. But I'm going to hit it with some water. Okay, it's back. I'm going to leave it just the way it is. Now, since it's even if I don't even get potatoes, wait, hold on. Whoops. Even if I don't get big potatoes, I'm not going to be upset about the test plot. It just lets me know what to do next year. But from what I just saw, I know what they look like. So if they don't improve, fine. If they do improve, then I will know that nitrogen is the secret sauce. Now they're loaded with the muriate of potash. I don't think it needs any more of that. But when I do add the nitrogen on tomorrow, I will definitely put a little more muriate of potash in because it can't hurt. And I'm wondering if I should throw a little sulfur in there. So tomorrow's the big day for this potato bed. But that one I saw, this potato came back up. Let me cover them back. And we haven't dumped the whole pot. I mean, I went down in it, but I haven't, I'm going to have to pull up every plant when it is time to harvest. I'm going to have to pull up every plant, and then I'm going to have to dump the whole tub, which I'm going to do right into Booger's hole. And speaking of Booger's hole, before we get off, ooh, I'm dirty. I done sat here and messed up everything. I am filthy. Speaking of Booger's hole, my barter buddy Cheryl is coming on next Tuesday, and we're getting ready to, her husband, thank God for them. I tell you, good friends, good friends. Anyway, they're coming on Tuesday, and we're going to get that sinkhole shored up. I filmed Sherry the other day, but I didn't post it. It was like a 20-second film. Sherry, I told her, don't bother Booger's hole, because she had already blocked it off and he had come up on the other end. I said, don't bother it anymore because all he's going to do is make it worse. He's going to continue to dig around it to find his way out. He's not going to get out of here. Blah, 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 blah. Guess what? And I told Sherry yesterday, I was like, when you come back over here, do not go nowhere near that darn hole. Now he has dug a tunnel right almost at the door of the shed. So now the hole has expanded, and I'm not going out there. Just know that it is, y'all have seen the hole, and y'all know how much bigger and bigger it has gotten over the past year. So Cheryl and her husband are coming on Tuesday. I'm going to Home Depot on Monday, and I will be picking up concrete. They'll load it into my car. I'm getting 5 bags, and then they're going to load it into my car. Her husband is going to pour that concrete down, and we're just going to entomb Booger. We're getting the quickcrete. So once it goes in, you put the water in, and it sets like within so many minutes. Unless Booger come out immediately, once that concrete goes in there, he's entombed. Now, Cheryl and I, we did like our calculations when we discussed it. We talked about it for about 30 minutes. Okay, now they just got rid of one. They did the same thing. That's why they're coming to do this for me. Their groundhog, it was a family. And she said theirs was a little smaller than Booger, the adult in the bunch. But it was like a family of 5. And what they did, they found out after they tunneled it and entombed them in, they had tried to tunnel all the way through their garage. So I have this shed here. So my tunnel may go all the way through that shed. So he can come out. He can't come out on the side where the patio is. There's nowhere for him to come out because that concrete is there. He can come out on the side by the tree and the clothesline. I could care less. First of all, there's a lot of wood over there and that ladder and a lot of weeds and junk. I don't even step over in that area, and neither does the lawn people. So if he comes up there and puts a hole, fine. The back of the shed. Now, when Emily came over, and speaking of Emily, hey, Emily, if you see this, she called today and checked on me. She's been checking on me like once a week since I've been sick. I truly appreciate that. Rashida, hey to you too. I know you'll see this. Rashida's been checking on me. My true buddies and garden club members and all that have been checking on me, seeing if I need help. And like I said, I'm taking Cheryl up on her offer. So here we go. And so I will be filming that. That is, if her husband don't mind being filmed. You know, everybody don't like to be on camera. So if he doesn't mind, then we will film that whole process on Tuesday. But anyway, so if Booger comes from the back, that's fine too. Now Emily walked the whole perimeter when we looked at it before. That was when the garden club was going to come to shore up the hole. But remember, we kept getting rained out and we missed it, you know, so we couldn't get that done. And so Emily walked the whole perimeter, and there were no other spots. Booger has only been coming out up front. He's making it easy on himself. So he might decide to hit the back or the side. He can only hit that one side, and he can only hit that back. That's fine. He can do what he wants, because I don't go back there at all. And even on the side where all the wood and stuff is, I don't really go over there. If I need to get some wood, I will, but I'll know to watch out for a hole. And then if I start seeing him again, I'm gonna know he's made an escape, and I'll find out where he has escaped from. But he will not be able to tunnel his way out the front anymore. We're going from the entrance of the shed all the way. We're coming as far as we can, and we're doing I don't know how many bags we're gonna do, but Cheryl and I discussed, we think to start 5 bags should do it. And then what they did was, when they did theirs, they didn't just fill it up to the top. No, you just pour it in there to where you know, and as soon as you start to see the cement sitting there, you know that you've filled in the bottom part of the hole. You stop at that point. And then you put the water in so it can set. Booger won't be able to get past it. And then I will backfill it with soil after that, and then I'll plant grass there. So that's how that's going to be done. So no, the concrete's not going to level off the top of the thing. It's just going to be down below. So it's almost like throwing bricks in there, but it's going to be enough to cover everything. Whereas bricks, you know, you throw them in, and that thing is a bottomless pit, because I've thrown so many bricks in there, over 50, I know, and I can't even see a brick that I've thrown in there. So that tunnel is fairly deep, and no telling what's under there. And I'm scared that ground may eventually give. So hopefully this will solve the problem. If Booger comes back out in the front, it's going to shock me. But we'll keep working on it, and we'll have the concrete. Eventually, this is going to help. And then, of course, I'm still getting the trap once I get back. So the trap will be set also. So hopefully I can catch them. And then, you know, we just continue working on the hole. We'll see. And then I'm buying a bottle of ammonia tomorrow at Myers. That's going first before we even start with the cement. Hope I don't blow up nothing up, because I'm pouring that down to hopefully flush them out. But that may not even phase them, depending on how deep that hole is. Because, you know, ammonia, you pouring that, it's going to soak into the soil. So we'll see. We'll see. But just look out for that video. In fact, that'll be my next video, because y'all know the family reunion, we're leaving out for that. So I'll be gone the weekend. I will do a little filming at the family reunion, so I'll probably upload that so that you all can meet the family and see the fun that we're gonna have. And it's gonna be a lot there, y'all, a lot. So I'm all set for that. I finished up today. I had to get an oil change with my car, and then my sister needed her oil changed. So what else? I only have one more thing to do. I have to go pick up a dessert to take to the family reunion when we leave, and that's it. But other than that, I'm all done. I went and got me some makeup, got that done today. What else? Got my clothes all together for the trip. Oh, and my shoes came, my new shoes came, which I'm very pleased with. Everything's set. So I'm just resting. And today, I said I'm finally turning the tide. My back still hurts, and that's going to continue to hurt, because I have those plaques, T5, T7, and lumbar. So I'll have Sherry to stick the patch back on before we leave, so that, you know, that can be helping with that. And then I have my Aleve for my back because it's hurting now. And it feels like, I'll tell you what, it feels like I've been shot, actually. What it feels like is a burning sensation right where the plaques are. It's like a searing burn. And then when I stand up, from the lumbar portion of it, it feels like someone is taking my shoulders and trying to push me back down. That's the reason why, although I'm walking good and I've got my special shoes, and I went and bought, I actually spent $25 yesterday. I got a special insert. And when I say it felt like I was walking on cloud, it improved my walking. I could walk straight. It really helped. I'm glad I invested that extra $25. So the shoes, which normally would cost $200, I purchased a brand new pair for $25, and then I had to pay like $9.40 shipping. So altogether I paid like $35. Brand new pair. They were still in the plastic, the sealed plastic, and had never been removed. So when I took them to the shoe store, we have a SAS store right by me, they done closed. I was so hurt. So I had to drive all the way to Rochester. That was the closest dealer to me. So I called the guy before I went to find out where he was located. And I told him I bought a pair of shoes. They arrived today. He was like, I never would have bought a pair of SAS shoes online. No. I'm like, they're new. And he was like, bring them in, because I told him I need an insert. And so anyway, he said, bring them in. I want to see these shoes. He was trying to find out where I got them because, see, they're in the store. He showed me the exact same shoe that I got, which was the Mary Jane, SAS Trapad Mary Jane shoe. He showed me that same shoe, $199.97. And with taxes, over $200. You know that. And then here I am. I paid $25 for the shoe, brand new, brand spanking new in my size. And so I told him, I'm not telling you where I got it. I was like, just know I'll be coming back in. I said, every time I get a pair, I'm going to come in and get one of these inserts. And so the insert cost $25, but when I say it's worth every penny, he had them from $25 all the way up to $100. And I tried on every insert. Not that I was going to spend $100, but for the future, I was like, I want to see how it feels and what it does and all that. I didn't like the one that cost $100. Then I just worked my way down. Then he had one for $80. I didn't like it. It brought my foot up too high to where it hurt across the top, the shoe itself. So that's what I didn't like about those more expensive ones. Then when I got down to the one that was $35, that one felt good. And I was like, okay, this is probably the one I'll end up getting, because I ended up with the perfect fit with the shoe. It didn't hurt going across the bridge. I was able to stand up straight. Everything felt good with walking. Then I tried the $25 one, and he told me, he said, this is the same brand. He said, the difference is this one is red. The $35 one is red. The insert itself was red, and the $25 one was black, but it's the exact same thing. I was like, well, you know which one I'm getting. I said, and besides, the shoes are black. And they felt the same. When I tried that one on for $25, it was perfect. Felt like I was walking on a cloud. In fact, I wore my shoes home. I didn't want to take them off. So I paid for them, and I told him, we're not putting these shoes in the box. I'm wearing them home. And so I put my old shoes, I had on some sandals, I put those in the box and stuff. And then I bought a pair of Thurlow socks. Those things cost $18 a pair, okay? But Thurlow socks, they're self-wicking. They're made with bamboo, cotton, and all that. If you've never heard of them, pull up Thurlows. They're spelled Thor, because Jen, I know you like to research. Thorlos, Thurlows. They're the best sock that you could ever get. Well, I bought a pair of sneakers because I didn't think the shoes were going to arrive in time, so I wanted to at least have something that would keep me steady on my feet traveling. So they had at Dunham's, we have a store called Dunham Sporting Goods. They had the sneakers, the Fila, which were regularly $69. They were on sale for $24. I was like, I'm getting these just to get them. So I got the pair of Filas, got the last pair that's in my size. And so when I was there, I bought the pair of Thurlow socks. I wore those today when I went to get my oil change. And when I say, oh man, it was nothing but comfort and clouds. And I was able to walk better and everything. So at least I have two pair. Now, the sass and then those feelers, for, walking around like the garden and stuff like that, fishing, that type of thing. The sass shoes will just be worn, they're dressier shoes, so they'll be worn when I'm dressed up. And I'm wearing them to the reunion, so they will be worn the whole time. And all my outfits are going to be dressier outfits too. Okay, so I guess I've talked enough about that, but I thank God for being able to get those things. And then at the end of the month, because the buyer that I bought from has many more. So I'm going to get different varieties. I'm going to get the Sass Free Spirit, because that's what I've always worn for my MS to begin with. They have the Sass Trapad, which is like more of a walking shoe. Then they have a hiking shoe. All these shoes are advertised at $25. So I'm like, okay, let me go on and do this, So I'm going to get as many as I can. Oh, and I want a sandal. Now, the sandals are a lot more, but that's okay. I don't mind paying a little more for the sandals, but they had them actually at the store I was at. He had a clearance section, and he had some sandals for like $40, and they were Sass. And then he had the Birkenstock for $40 too at that store. So I might end up going to that store, because it's not going to be any shipping or tax, it'll be taxes, but no shipping involved. So I might go back to the store where I got the inserts and get a pair of those sandals, because he did have a couple of pair in my size. I wanted the black though. All he had was the tan, and he had a brown. I can deal with brown, so. But for that price, and they were regularly $100, they were like 75% off. Yep. So I'll probably do my sandals that way. But I'm just happy to be able to get these shoes cheaper, a lot cheaper than, that's 90% off. Anytime you buying a $200 shoe for $25, and that's not counting the shipping, but the shipping's not that much. But to get a shoe, a $200 shoe that's good for you, something that I need, for only $25, that's about 90%, I would say. At least 80% off of the regular price, so I'm going for the gusto. Okay, you guys, so I'm off of here. I'm gonna get back in the house. It's decent here in the greenhouse. It's about 80 degrees in here. It's not so bad to where it affects my MS. It's not humid in here. I just wanted to air it out a little bit because it's starting to smell jungly. So I got the air flowing through. The plants are doing very nice. They seem to be happy at this temperature. So I'm quite sure it was hotter earlier in here, but it has since cooled down. So I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna take my little 4 tomatoes in. I'm gonna go in, continue crocheting, and rest for the rest of the evening. I've been getting a lot of sleep, and I'm feeling so much better every day. I'm feeling much, much, much better. So I'm finally turning the tide. I'm not all the way there, and I pray that this car trip doesn't set me back, but I don't think it will. Sherry has it set up. I'll just stretch out in the back. Plus she has that folding seat on one side, so I can have it, I can fold it down on one side if I want to lay down or something like that, and then the sit-up side, because I'm gonna have the whole back seat to myself. So I can work it. And then I have my compression stockings on deck. I'm gonna wear those while traveling. And then while I'm there, I just won't do no big time walking. My biggest strenuous part of the whole trip is gonna be when we come back and stop at Cracker Barrel. Ooh, I can't wait. Y'all know I'm looking forward to Cracker Barrel. We went there last year, so we're going to be going back again, and then I will definitely be hoping I can find something. So we'll see if I hit a jackpot there. Okay, I'm still rambling. Okay, bye y'all, and may God bless you all. See you in the next one.